Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to give a story titled, I am a 37-year-old male with a 36-year-old female wife of 3 years who left me. Now she wants to get back together. Help. And guys, this story is about a guy who, just like in the title said, he was with his wife for like 6 years. And in his view, everything was cool. Relationship was great. You know, they were best of friends, blah, blah, blah. But then you're going to see, a few years into the marriage, he started noticing some red flags. Does this sound familiar with a lot of the stories I do? He started noticing some red flags. Things didn't quite add up. And one thing led to another. And surprise, surprise, she wasn't happy with the marriage, so she was having an affair. And she wanted to leave him for some guy that lived in Europe, an Italian guy. Okay? And that's exactly what she does. And then you're going to see later on that things don't exactly work out well for her, and she wants to come crawling back. And so this guy is basically wondering, hey, what do I do here? So I'm going to get into the story in a moment, but before I do, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys. Last night, the channel hit the 100,000 subscriber milestone. Great feeling. I am unbelievably grateful to all you guys for your support, especially you guys that have been supporting me from the beginning, back when I started the channel last February. It's been quite a journey, and I can assure you there's a lot of really good things coming up on the horizon over the next few months, which I'll announce along the way. So again, a big thank you to all you guys, all the brothers out there showing support. Really appreciate it. So, on with the story. So it starts off, my wife and I were together for a total of 6 years, 3 married. Through the relationship, we were best friends. We never fought, but we did compromise. Sex was initially amazing, then became routine. I would ask her about it, and if she was happy, and she said yes. She always wanted the same positions, same process, and we had sex once per week. There were no other obvious issues for our relationship, and our friends thought we were the model couple. We laughed, we were affectionate, etc. Well, a lot of times when people think that we're the best of friends and we never fight and there's nothing like that, don't get me wrong, that's great that there's no fighting and all that, but a lot of times the way things usually go is it becomes more like just a friendship relationship instead of a romantic relationship. Because typically if the woman is, madly in love with the guy, there is going to be a little drama every now and again, okay? The emotions are going to get worked up and all that. But if there is like nothing, it's just purely like two buddies hanging out, that says a lot, okay? And don't get me wrong, if you're going to do marriage or relationship, it's good to have a friendship there, but there's got to be some passion in there in the middle of it, And also, the big eye-opener here is the red flag is talking about the sex. How it was always basically the same thing. Like as per schedule, once a week, same process, same positions, all that. So unless she suffers from obsessive compulsive disorder and needs routine, because otherwise she'll lose her mind without it, obviously she's bored, and that is the maintenance that she does for him to keep him obviously happy enough to stay in the marriage and obviously paying for his part of the bills. 3 years into the marriage, completely out of the blue, my wife began demonstrating signs of having an affair. Secrecy, etc., etc. All typical. I called her on it and she denied it. She said she was stressed out and then asked me whether I thought our love life lacked passion. Translation, in her view, the love life lacked passion, but she still wanted to hear what he had to say. And what I tell you, obviously she doesn't have OCD, so obviously the routine in terms of with the sex, and obviously there's no passion because obviously they're just like buddies hanging out. At that moment, I knew for sure. I told her I thought it was lacking and wanted her to work on her with that. A month later, after the signs continued, she admitted the affair, then moved out the next day with the other man. She knew him for 3 months, and they had only seen each other 3 times. He lives in another country. She relocated to the other country, and it's been 9 months since. So just like that, there's a reason she obviously asked and did it lack passion, she was forming a way out for her, obviously. And then obviously that was the case, and turns out she was having an affair. She only saw the dude for 3 months, so this must have been one hell of a European chatter Tyrone that swept her off her feet. But she must have been really infatuated with this dude, and obviously really bored with her husband, to leave the next day like that and to pick up and move to another country, okay? And for a lot of you guys that feel the need, a lot of you guys that do relationships, feel the need to pick up and move for some other girl, Let me make this clear. This is a perfect example. If you got a woman that's head over heels for you, she will pick up and move anywhere to be with you. She'll move anywhere. She'll change religions. She'll sometimes leave her kids. She'll bust you out of prison if she can. I mean, you hear stories about things like that. So for you guys that feel like you got to bend over backwards and do all these things to win her, understand that if a woman is head over heels for you, there isn't anything she won't do for you. But it's rare that you can get a guy that's actually going to have that kind of impact on a woman. Except the Chad and Tyrone types, the bad boy types. During the breakup, the wife would not talk to me or work on the marriage. She had no interest and wouldn't even tell me what was wrong. She had checked out a long time ago. I mean, when they had that confrontation, that discussion, and she moved out the next day, she was done. And a lot of guys, when it comes to breakups, they don't get how their wife, their girlfriend can just move on like nothing happened, and be on to another guy. That's because she had moved on a long time before she initiated the breakup. And a lot of women cannot be alone. They can't be on their own. So they will already have a guy lined up, and not to mention a place to go, so that the second you had that confrontation or the breakup, boom, she's gone. That's it. No issue there. And the guys love scratching his head saying, how could she move on so quickly? That's why. I'm not saying they all do that, but a lot do. And I know some that have done that. Anyway, she wouldn't talk to him, blah, blah, blah. All I've ever gotten out of her was, I had doubts since the beginning, focused on the good things, hoping those doubts would go away, and they never did. And she said, I wasn't really in love with you when we got married. I'm sorry I never communicated any of this to you. I see you more as a brother versus a husband. Ouch. So she was never really in love with him. She wasn't really in love with him and had those feelings when they got married, but she married him anyway. And this is my problem with a lot of people that get married, especially early on, is that they figure, hey, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what our society and religion says we're supposed to do. It's probably not going to get any better than this, so I'm going to marry a guy now while I'm still young enough and have my looks. I want to have my big day and walk down the aisle and be the center of attention and at least show the public that I can get one guy to marry me, even if the woman isn't in love with him. I mean, it's really sad, but it happens, right? Meanwhile, the guy's on cloud nine thinking he's got this great girl, but it goes to show you, with regards to what she just confessed, that I was never really in love with him, thought there were issues, but thought they'd get better. And that shows in the marriage how obviously sex wasn't very exciting, and they were just buddies hanging out. No passion, no drama, none of that stuff. Right there. That was all I got. Fast forward 9 months after the breakup, and things are not going well with the other woman. Things are not going well with the other man, her lover. And now she's in another country with this guy. Recently, she started emailing me and telling me, wait for it, she regrets everything, misses everything we had together, and wants to start talking to me. So in other words, it isn't working out with her European Chad or Tyrone, and now she's thinking, oh shit, I got to do something. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to have to be 100% supporting myself with the bills and all that. Who can I go back to? I can go back to my ex, who obviously is pining for me, and was her. I could maybe get him back. Even though she's the same one that said earlier she wasn't in love with him and all that and saw him as a brother. All of a sudden now she wants to work on it, right? And of course, she had the affair and didn't want to try to work on the marriage in any way, shape, or form. What happened next? Let's see what happens next. Obviously, this is all tied to the relationship not working out. I feel like the good enough leftovers. That's exactly what he is. I know she was infatuated with the guy, and I don't believe she wasn't in love with me for a second. Our marriage, for the most part, was awesome. Dude, no, your marriage was not awesome. Your friendship with her could have been awesome, but the marriage, in terms of the romance level, she admitted that she wasn't in love with you. She admitted that she saw you as a brother, not a husband, okay? And guys, by the way, if you ever have a girl that tells you that she sees you like a brother, that's not a compliment, okay? That means she has no interest. None. Let me make that clear. So I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do? I emailed her and laid out a plan of what she needs to do if she wants me back. And it's largely focused on her communicating, explaining everything, improving that she understands why she did what she did, can exactly explain what was wrong with our marriage, and that she's willing to build a plan to work on the issues together. If she didn't say those things to him, if she didn't say that she wasn't in love with him, obviously when they got married and all those different things, even though obviously she cheated, okay. I don't think he should take her back in any way, shape, or form because she wasn't in love with him, openly admitted she wasn't in love with him, had the affair, picked up and left him like he was a piece of garbage, gone, wouldn't even talk about it. There's no way this guy should get back with her. But in his mind, I don't see how he's justifying this given the fact that she said she wasn't in love with him, saw him as a brother, and did all that. But he thinks that they can work on it and just, it's not going to work that way, okay? I never get with these guys. Obviously, their emotions are controlling everything. Logic is gone bye-bye, and the emotions are running his system, so to speak. But you got to be out of your damn mind. He says, I have dated, and I'm struggling to find anyone I can connect with like I did with her. It's only been a few months he's been trying to date, and he's obviously so damaged that, but connecting with her, again, as a friendship, that's it. Okay, there was no, obviously, in his mind, his point of view, everything was great and there was romance, but there wasn't. Okay, believe me, there was romance with the Italian guy, because you're going to find out later on he's Italian, that she left the country for. That's passion and romance in her view. Now, is that going to be that way with everybody? No. And is your typical marriage going to have that? No. Okay, but in her mind, because she probably saw so many movies and read so many romance novels, hey, that could be that way. It doesn't work that way, okay? That's what happens with, the initial honeymoon stage when you're dating a guy in the beginning, maybe, or the whole infatuation stage or whatever, or affairs. That's it. But this guy, he hasn't been dating that long, and he's still getting over her. So, of course, he's not going to find anything he can connect with or feel good about. So, the idea that, well, it sucks out there. It's only been a few months. I'm not going to find anybody I can connect with, so I'll take her back, even though she cheated on me, left me, and moved to another country, wouldn't talk to me, and admitted that she wasn't in love with me, got married. That's nuts. Better to be alone and have the potential to find something way better than to settle for that, because mark my words, she'll do it again. And if she doesn't do it again, he's not going to be hooking up with her anymore, and she's going to be bored. It's going to be an unhappy situation. Why? What's the definition of insanity? Repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's what he's going to get. He says here, I want her back, but I'm afraid of her unpredictability. When she left me, I did nothing wrong, and she just turned on me like she wasn't even the same person. We had never had issues before. It was devastating. Yes, you did. There were issues there, except you didn't see it. You thought everything was cool, but she was unhappy, okay? I'm not justifying her actions in any way, shape, or form, but that's what really was going on behind the scenes. The guy had horse blinders on. I went through severe depression after the breakup, and I'm at least on my 2 feet now. I miss her dearly, but I don't know if I can ever trust her again. If I'm making a mistake here, I could use some advice from people outside this situation. Yeah, dude, you're making a huge mistake taking her back, okay? Because you're going to be wondering always, hey, when's the next time she's going to cheat? Every time she picks up her phone, every time she's on her laptop typing away with somebody, you're going to wonder. Every time she goes out or is doing a girlfriend's night out or something like that, you're going to wonder. Okay? And the fact that he said here that she's unpredictable, and of course all the things she said to him, even though he thinks that right now I haven't met anybody that measured up, well, it's only been a matter of months, less than a year. It's going to take some serious, recovery time of him getting his life back together before he can even be in a place that he can connect with somebody else, if that's indeed what he wants. But no way. Now, I'm going to go through a few comments here, and I did look ahead on the guy's profile to find out what happened, and I'll let you know in a second. But here's a few comments from people that said pretty much what I'm thinking here. One guy says, dude, you know the answer to this dilemma in your gut. She got rejected by her first choice, and now she wants you back and is trying to sweet talk you. Ding, ding, ding. If you get back together, you'll always be her second choice. You deserve better than that, man. Don't do this to yourself. Finding someone is difficult, but so rewarding when you find the right person. Take the difficult road, because at least then you'll know and you won't be shitted on, and trust me, she will shit on you. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't have said that better myself. Another guy writes, I personally would advise you not to take her back, no matter how much you might miss her. I mean, how can you ever trust her again, given how spectacularly she screwed you over? You'll spend the rest of your life with her wondering when she'll stab you in the back next, wondering if she's yet met another man that she'll run off with, wondering if she'll hurt you horribly yet again. You'll never again be able to feel the comfort and trust that is the hallmark of a good marriage, given how she deceived and betrayed you, your own trust previously. If you really, really want to try, insist on a trial period of marriage, counseling at first, before you really commit yourself to the marriage. After all, she needs to prove that she's really trying again, not just using you as a backup plan because her affair with the other man fizzled out. But honestly, if I were you, I would not allow her to resume the marriage. When you break your partner's trust so spectacularly, well, there's no really unbreaking it. Yeah, I don't agree with him like trying to go to the therapy and all that stuff because what's happened. Nothing's going to change that. But everything else I do agree with, It's not going to work. And finally, the last one, the guy says, she doesn't miss you. She misses the comfort and familiarity of your marriage. See? And the resources, I might add. Know that if you let her come back, you've given her permission to continue to disrespect and walk all over you. Show her you're not the safety blanket and take the harder path. Right. I'd recommend this guy basically move on, go through the divorce process. It's not going to work, and the guy needs to heal. Maybe he does some therapy, okay? Maybe that can help him out moving on. And then when he's ready, and I mean truly ready, then he can start dating and all that, if indeed that's what he wants. But I would highly recommend, given how things are in today's world and what he would no doubt learn through the divorce process, that he doesn't rush in to get married at all. No, not what I know, but if he does do it, prenup, and is with the woman for years and years and years, learning what she's really like, all areas, so that he doesn't end up in the same situation again. And finally, guys, I was curious to see if there was an update to the story because I want to know what happened. There was an update to this particular story. However, the guy did another post where he was talking about a situation with a girlfriend he had. This is years later. So the guy obviously divorced this woman, and then he's on with some other girlfriend that he was having issues with. Surprise, surprise there. So anyhow, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.